Today, we're going over how a police background investigator can go through and find your old social media accounts, find information that you thought was gone, and use it in your police hiring process. Let's discuss. Before I get started, I have a couple gifts in the description for you. One is the Getting Started workshop, but we recently just updated it. It's out there for you. A lot of new information, some bonus information at the end, and things that you can use that we've seen over the last couple years when it comes to becoming a law enforcement officer. Like I said, there's some hidden bonuses at the end of it for you as well. Next is a coaching call. You can jump on a coaching call with any member of our team, myself if you'd like, or anyone else, and go over and discuss your police hiring process and determine where you fall as a candidate, see what hurdles you may have, and how to overcome them so you can get hired with your dream agency as quickly as possible. Now, police social media accounts or police going through your social media accounts. One of the big factors of social media reviews is now there's systems out there to do it. Matter of fact, we have access to those systems now too, where we can run a candidate's social media and do a social media screening and review with them to see if there's any potential flags out there. I've done another video in the past about what flags are looking for, but that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is about you being able to get out there and understand that just because you may have gotten rid of some social media, because even in the past, well before you decided to become a law enforcement officer, it might not be completely gone, and you might still have to articulate an answer for some of those posts, pictures, or anything else you may have put out there. Now, how do they find them? There's a couple different ways. One, you're going to be legally required in your background packet to disclose all your social medias, all your social media handles, both past and present, right? So any social media, matter of fact, one of the things that they say is any social media account that you have access to or that you're able to post or edit from. So that's one major factor, and they do not limit social media anymore. Matter of fact, YouTube in itself is not necessarily considered social media. It's a search engine, but for the purposes of police hiring, they consider it a social media. So if you have anything that you've ever posted, whether it be a comment, whether it be a video, they're going to want to have access to it, and they're going to want to know about that social media profile, that handle, or that username that you use in your social medias. Once again, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Reddit, Discord, any of these factors is all the screening criteria that they're going to do. And once again, it's not as long for them anymore because they have systems, right? AI systems and individuals companies that we can use to do a social media scrub of your background. What's that mean for you? Well, the one part about it is what they're going to scrub is public information typically. Now, does that mean you can hide something? No, absolutely not. Because if you try to, that's called omission, and you're going to get DQ'd or permanently DQ'd. And then that can cascade and most likely will to other departments when you apply to another department. So don't do that. Be honest, be upfront. But I understand some things may not be or reflect who you are now as a person and might be from a long time ago and you got rid of all social media, but there's still some type of imprint out there for you, and you're going to have to disclose it. And some of the questions you might ask is, what do I do if I did delete my social media? I don't recall everything. I don't recall all my usernames. That's hard, right? Because that's one of the factors that they're going to want you to get. Once again, you could run your own social media scan of yourself, but it might be hard to find some of those profiles that are no longer there. One thing that we're going to do is we're going to run in the department. When I say we, department is going to run your email addresses. All of your email addresses, they have to be tied to some social media, has to be tied to some type of email address. So we're going to run that and we're going to see what generates, even if it's an old deleted account. And you have to understand in today's world of internet and AI, a lot of these things are archived. So it might even be deleted, but it might just be archived. So most of the time, people think they deleted their social media. They actually didn't. They just deactivated it. And it's still 100% accessible to get into. Just because it's deactivated just means you can't post, and it might not be, on the, for you page or immediate search page. But if we have your email address and we know that it's tied to an account on that platform, it's pretty easy to find. not even if we had to go through, archives and data brokers to determine what's out there. Something about just Facebook alone that most people don't realize, and this is actually a lot of social medias, is all of your information, everything that you've done is archived on there. And you can actually go through certain steps. And I've seen departments make candidates do this where they go through and request all of their footage or all of their history on that platform. And I'm talking about years, decades even of history. And it's all on there. And then it takes about a day and it compresses it into a file. And that background investigator has asked individuals for those files, right? And imagine decades worth of social media, private messages, private posts, all that is in there. And I've seen, once again, background investigators require a candidate to provide that to them. Now, that doesn't happen all the time, but it is something out there. Typically, they're going to do a cursory social media screen, make sure that there's nothing out there publicly about you that is going to be negative or reflect poorly on your character, but they can deep dive if they want to. And what you think might be gone might not be gone. The other aspect, and the more common one that I see all the time, is not what you have on your social media, but what friends have on their social media that you're tagged in, right? And once again, images, posts, anything like that, a Discord comment where your handle made an inappropriate post or just an offbeat comment or anything like that, while in surface, it wasn't anything too bad, or excuse me, in depth, it wasn't anything too bad, but on surface, it can be taken out of context. A lot of times, these things will come back to bite a candidate. So, what's this mean for you? What's it mean? Can law enforcement get access to your social media and conduct social media reviews? Absolutely. Nowadays, AI review systems and organizations or companies that review AI for the purpose, or excuse me, not AI, social media for the purposes of hiring are really good at what they do. They're leveraging AI. They're able to scan your picture and use your emails and just do a quick right off the top scan and get access within 24 hours to anything that might be negative. And it generates a full report. Our system that we do as a cursory preemptive scan for police applicants does the same thing. We actually use a lot of the similar systems that other hiring companies and official organizations use. Is everything on there, if it flags, going to be bad? No, a lot of times you can articulate it, right? Especially time and distance, everything like that. But it's something that you have to be prepared for. And if you're not prepared for it, it's going to hurt you. So if you say, hey, I filled out all my usernames, all my social media profiles, and the ones I could recall. But then we run your social media scan and review, and we see there's a couple handles tied to your email address. And then when we deep dive, we confirm that they're old ones to you. You're stuck now because maybe you made a mistake and completely forgot about that when you were a teenager or young or anything, or quite a few years ago, because you never used that profile that much. But then are we going to believe that? Is it going to be believed that you just made a mistake? Or is it going to be believed that you intentionally tried to hide it, which is omission, which is an automatic DQ, a negative character defect? And that follows with you. And sometimes it is just an honest mistake. Other times it is omission. But we're not going to sit here and try to figure it out most of the time. Most of the time, they're just going to move on because we do have a lot of applicants that are going through the process. So the other applicants that maybe took time out to do a proper social media review on themselves to make sure that they went through and made sure that nothing on social media poorly reflects their professional well-being. Well, what do you do if someone, like I said, has you tagged in a photo and they won't take it down, or you've removed the tag, but once again, that photo's still there? We're going to run a photo search, reverse photo search, and see if anything generates that way on any social medias, and we find it, right? Okay, no big deal. As long as you can articulate what occurred, how that isn't you anymore, you'll be perfectly fine. But this is definitely an area that people are not considering when applying to become a police officer is what's out there on their social media. Your social media handle, the title that you use. I could actually post a bunch of different social media handles from TikTok, from YouTube, from various different people that ask us questions. And just their handle alone is unprofessional. Sometimes it has inappropriate comments or it has some type of profanity or some type of connotation to it that is just poorly reflecting a professional. And you're going to have to explain that. I bring this up and we're doing this training today because we keep seeing this over and over. And the more social media reviews that we're seeing on candidates, and the more that candidates are coming back from their background investigator interview and saying, hey, we found these social platforms that you didn't disclose. And they're saying, I completely forgot about it. Or I deleted that and I didn't think I needed to list it. You have to follow the directions and you have to do it to the best of your ability. If you try to shortcut the background packet or the social media section, they're going to have some, and especially if they find flags, they're going to have some serious consequences in your hiring process. And that's the last thing you want to do while, if especially if you're applying in a local area to a lot of different departments within that same area, you can be sure that they talk to each other. And you don't want to have a bad name at one because it most likely is going to carry over to the other one. So you're going through, you're doing a social media scan. What can you do? Well, first of all, as a public servant, as a public official, you want to have a private social media anyway, right? You don't want people going on there being able to look up your family, look you up for safety purposes for you and your family. You want to make sure your social media is private and it's only for you to use and not for people to look you up. That's not an attempt to hide something. That's just specifically for safety purposes. And it does a lot on these general screenings where you have potential flags out there, or excuse me, not potential flags, where they can do professional reviews to look for potential flags. Because a lot of times, if it's a private account, they're not going to be able to pull anything off of it because there's not public domain. But that doesn't stop them from pulling it if it's already been archived in some type of public domain because it's been public for so long, or you're tagged in someone else's comments, or we find a social media account that you completely forgot about within another platform. If and when, not if, but I should say when they find that, that is going to be just a disaster for you if you're not prepared for it. I highly encourage you to do your preparation phase, especially before you apply, and to incorporate social media into that. A lot of people will say, man, this is a lot of work for this profession. Yeah, but it's worth it. If you do this profession worth it, right, excuse me, it's worth it to you, to your family, and it's something you can be proud of. Saying that, hey, I spent my whole, life in my profession or in my work trying to make a positive impact. But you're never going to get there if you make just a couple little mistakes that make a department just say, hey, it's not the end of the world, but we're just going to move on with a different candidate that did take the time to properly assess, evaluate, and then also be prepared to articulate anything that might come up from a hurdle or even a question. It might be an initial question, but it doesn't mean it has to turn into a hurdle. If you can easily articulate, hey, what was the situation with this? Picture of you holding a knife in a open field with a lot of people around, and you say, oh yeah, we were actually at a barbecue and that's a steak knife. I was actually on the grill cooking steaks. It was just cropped out. Cool. Super easy to explain. But that might pop a weapons image flag in your social media review. And you might be laughing about that right now. But once again, context and the how they perceive it, I guess that's the best way to articulate how they perceive it and what context they perceive it in. Perception, that's the term I'm looking for. That perception of it, that's going to be what matters the most. And you're going to have to be prepared to discuss it. A lot of things that go on here. And once again, it's not just weapon images, it's comments, it's photos or shared comments. That's another one. That is a huge one that actually most people don't think about. If you share something, it kind of tags you to that other person's profile that you shared it from. So that can be another way that they find it. And don't think that this stuff is just gone because you deleted your social media. No, once again, there's whole companies out there that make it a point to archive information for reasons just like this throughout their career. Like that's all that organization does. And now with AI, so much easier to do. So just because you deleted the information doesn't mean it might not have been archived someone out there or somewhere out there for someone to review at a later time. And it's pretty easy nowadays to tie your email address and your social media to an account. And if you leave off an email address, once again, that's omission, automatic DQ, possibly a permanent DQ. Really hard to explain permanent DQs to other agencies moving forward. A lot to consider here. My recommendation, go through obviously all your social medias for any public servant should always be sent to private. If you're going to keep them, that's for you, you and your family only, you and your close friends. I would not be out there as a public official making comments and making any type of official statements or anything like that. And a lot of times you're actually not allowed to by policy and procedure, any type of official statements on anything that could poorly reflect on your department is actually needs to be ran through your PIO, your public information officer. So keep that in mind. If you make a, hey, I'm a law enforcement officer with such and I believe such and such, that is you standing behind or advocating or speaking as the department, and which is not allowed and goes against policy, which is one of the reasons why departments will do the social media review beforehand to make sure there's already nothing out there about you that reflects poorly on character. Right? Because they have to employ you. They need to make sure that you have proper character, a good person to move forward with the department. It's not perfect either, though. Once again, hiring process makes mistakes all the time. That's what the purpose of this training video is for, is to try and help you prevent any of those from being taken out of context or misperception so that you can properly make it through the hiring process. Review your social media, make your social media private, make sure that there's nothing on there that doesn't reflect who you currently are and as a professional, right? Just keep it that way. And then understand that if there is or ever was anything out there about you, there's a good chance it's going to come up and you need to be prepared to articulate it and explain what's going on, if it's a misinterpretation or misperception, or if it's something that you've just grown and it's no longer what represents you. Hope this helps. Remember, we have those gifts in the description, right? So the Getting Started workshop, it's updated, a bunch of new stuff. It's extended. I think it's double the amount of time now. In addition to that, there's some hidden bonuses and gifts with there and the hidden bonuses at the end of the video to kind of round out your entire start of your career. The last one is the coaching call, where you can jump on a coaching call with any member of my team, even myself, if you'd like, on my limited availability. And you can go through there and then ask any question you want, see where you fall as a police candidate, work through any of the potential hurdles or concerns that you have so you can get hired with your dream agency as quickly as possible. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.